What is up, guys? Bacon Neck here. Due to the recent announcement of Tekken 7 Season 4 release, I decided to make a video explaining guest characters I would like to see in the universe. This list will not have legacy killer characters. It will only be characters that's from other games or other movies or TV shows, different franchises. Due to due to fighting games having guest characters a lot nowadays. Now, I've done this before with Mortal Kombat, so I'm gonna be sure to leave that video link in the description to check that out. Subscribe to me, look at me. You might like me. I'm sexy. I'm lovely. So yeah, let's get into the video. So we're gonna start things off with one of my favorite anime's protagonists, Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. Now, anybody in this show, anybody from the Bebop ship could have easily taken his spot, like Faye Valentine, Jet, Edward, Ein. Well, the last two are jokes, but pretty much I'm trying to say, the reason why I picked Spike Spiegel over Faye and Jet is because I think throughout the series, Spike has been involved in way more fights, and you've seen him fight more. You've seen his fight style, so it would only make sense to, out of all the people that would be in the game, it would be Spike, at least in my opinion, because you see Spike fight all the time, and he would fit perfectly in this game. It would be cool to play as him, such a cool character. He could start out coming coming into the stage or whatever, talk about how he's hungry or whatever, or how was a bounty on somebody's head for so and so Wulongs or whatever, and the fight starts. It'll be awesome to be able to play as Spike in a fighting game. That would be cool. Now, Spider-Man, the Miles Morales version, will be perfect for Tekken or any fighting game in general, but for Tekken specifically because you have seen Peter Parker in games like Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel Fighters, any Capcom based game you've seen Peter Parker in. So it would be cool to see Miles Morales in Tekken because he has a new game coming out on PS5, and he has the new movie, the Into the Spider-Verse movie that came out starring Miles Morales as his origin story. So it would fit perfectly, and it would be perfect if Bandai Namco picked up the character because Bandai Namco has actually collaborated with Capcom before, so it could work perfectly. And it doesn't really have to be Miles Morales. For example, it could be Gwen Stacy or any other Spider-Man, but I think it will make more sense because of the spotlight that Miles Morales is getting with the whole PS5 game that's coming out and everything. And even with the whole customization feature in Tekken, you could probably even use other Spider-Man costumes, like the costumes in the Spider-Man PS4, or the Gwen Stacy a Spider-Man costume you could actually put on, the Spider-Man Noir, the Spider-Man 2077, something like that. You could definitely have different Spider-Mans in the game, but as long as Miles Morales is the default version of the character, in my opinion, it should fit perfectly for him to be in Tekken. Now we have Brad Hawk from the action beat 'em up from 2005, Urban Reign. He would fit perfectly. Definitely, this game is it showcases how fighters should be, or beat 'em up should be, and he should definitely be in the game because of how his fighting style is. He could do combos. People would get launched in the air, while you're playing the game Urban Reign, and it's really it fits perfectly. Him as a character would fit, even though the game's kind of old. But then you could bring back something from a certain time, how they have I don't think King of Fighter, they have Geese from King of Fighters, and I don't think King of Fighters had a game recently, so they could probably bring it back, and then have them in the game. That would be awesome as fuck to from PS2 fans to see. Whoever had the game, to see him in the game would probably be hyped for it. Not many people that are newer probably do know who he is, but he definitely fits the game, definitely. Now we have Genos from One Punch Man, the funniest anime I've ever watched. But besides the point, I feel like I picked him because, he does fit. He's very powerful, so it's like kind of like maybe not. But then if I would have picked Saitama or something, the One Punch Man himself, like he's super overpowered. So like it would make sense to have him in the game because he could his whole premise of being a character is pretty much he one punches everybody. So it's like that would have make sense to have Saitama as a character when you could just like one punch somebody. But then like you can argue and say like, oh, it's a fighting game. It doesn't have to make sense. But then like I mean like the whole premise of him is making somebody die in one punch. So I wouldn't have Saitama in the game. I was also thinking about like adding a Dragon Ball Z character too, but then like all the characters in Dragon Ball Z are overpowered, so like it wouldn't even. That's probably the main reason why I didn't pick anybody from Dragon Ball Z to be in the game. Genos is very powerful, yes, but I mean like they do have like he kind of reminds me of like Alyssa because she's like a cyborg character, you know. Like they have people that have powers kind of in Tekken, so it doesn't really not fit, but then like. At the same time, he does seem like one of the powerful persons, so he will have like more blast and more like special moves, you know, and shit like that. But then like that doesn't necessarily mean that he can't be in the game. And I feel like he fits too, because like he fits like he looks like a Alyssa character. Like she's a robot, she's a cyborg, and you know you can play as her, takes her head off, whatever. So yeah, I see why not. Genos actually does kind of fit in the game, so I'm gonna stick with him, you know, being a choice for this list. Now we have Dante from Devil May Cry, the series. He does have guns and he has a blade, but I mean that don't mean anything. They had Noctis. Noctis is like more of a Soul Calibur fitting guest character, but he still was in Tekken, so I mean they probably could fit his guns and his blade in the gameplay without nothing, because they still have people that they still have the little items that you could pick, that you could equip, and people could shoot you and stuff. So there's no difference. Now there is two different versions of this character. They have the one with the white hair and the one that has brown hair. So I mean, maybe the quick way to fix this is probably just like throw in like a different skin for the other version of the character and make everybody happy. But yeah, he fits definitely. Daredevil, man, he would be awesome. I mean, like he's like the only blind fighter that would probably be in this game. I know Mortal Kombat had Kenshi, and then like to say like Tekken does add Daredevil, even though it's unlikely. They would have that as a blind fighter, and then you know, yeah, so and so hand to hand. But yeah, Daredevil would be awesome. Now, this character I think is surprisingly underrated. Like most people don't really talk about him being in Tekken, and I comes to my shock because I feel like when I think about guest characters, he's probably one of the first people that even pop up to my head. And this is Ryo Hazuki from the Shenmue series. Like I mean, I feel like the Shenmue series kind of fits. It's like, you know, a kung fu centered game, you know, very slow paced, not really like a fast action game, but it's like it has kung fu sessions and fighting sessions in it. So I pretty much think that he should probably be in the game. Now one may say Ryu and Ken probably wouldn't be in it, will pretty much probably won't be in it because they already have Akuma. But then like say if they, I don't know, maybe if they do a Tekken Cross Street Fighter, then they'll probably have all the Street Fighter characters in it, because they pretty much already did the Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which was Tekken characters in the Street Fighter universe. And then like if they end up doing the Tekken Cross Street Fighter, which is pretty much the Street Fighter people in the Tekken universe, they probably have the Street Fighter characters with the Tekken makeover or whatever. Then like, you know, have, you know, other than just Ken and Ryu, you know, like Chun-Li or, you know, Sakura, the other characters they have in the game, Blanca, Gaio, and then yeah, like end up having them in the game. Now most people that play Tekken don't really like Dead or Alive, or kind of say Dead or Alive like the booby game or something like that, like not really like a serious fighting game, or like, you know, I disagree. Tekken, I mean, Dead or Alive is an actual really good fighting game. I like it, and I feel like they should, you know, collab. Ayane from Dead or Alive would fit perfectly from Tekken. I'll just pick the character because I feel like she stands out. She has the purple hair, you know, she is like, you know, like a standout character from Dead or Alive, and I like Dead or Alive and I like Tekken, so I mean like it would be cool to see a crossover from them, or like have like a, you know, guest character and everything. So yeah. Now speaking of Dead or Alive, I remember when Dead or Alive 4 came out and they had the Spartan character. Now that was dope as hell. I remember being stoked as hell seeing that, because I had a Xbox 360, and I guess because Dead or Alive 4 was a Xbox 360 exclusive, so they had the Spartan character. But it would be cool if they brought that back in modern time to have a Spartan character in a fighting game, right? And I don't know what exact model, but for my choice for this video, I would say that they should bring Spartan Lock into a Tekken video game. That would be cool. I would think they probably would have had a Spartan character in the next Dead or Alive, Dead or Alive 5, Dead or Alive 6, but that wasn't the case. They decided to ditch the Spartan characters for I don't know why, but like that was dope as hell in Dead or Alive 4. You know, it'd been cool if they brought it back in Dead or Alive 5, Dead or Alive 6. But let's say if Bandai Namco took up the mantle and they ended up using a Spartan character, this specifically Spartan Lock for a Tekken game, that would be cool, you know, and they could just use that as a Xbox exclusive character, right? And they could have like a substitute character for a PlayStation character. Who knows? Anything's possible. And it won't be out of place because Dead or Alive recently had a King of Fighters character, Mai, and Tekken had a King of Fighters character, Geese. So that could, you know, that can be like an example of them using the same universe's characters in their games. So hey, having a Spartan will fit Tekken even more because the customization feature they have in Tekken, so you could choose different helmets that you would choose to customize in the online of Halo for Tekken. Now Wei Shen from Sleeping Dogs fits very well. Sleeping Dogs is pretty much like a GTA type game, but it's like more so focused on fighting, which is GTA more so like stealing cars and shooting. So yeah, this guy definitely fits a Tekken game, and it would be perfect to see him in a Tekken game, definitely. Ahsoka from Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Now Star Wars characters are no stranger to Bandai Namco games, because Soul Calibur 4 I believe had Yoda and Darth Vader. I think Yoda was like the Xbox version and Darth Vader was the PlayStation version. I think you had to purchase the other version. Like say if you had a PlayStation, you had to purchase Yoda, and if you had the Xbox, you had to purchase Darth Vader. Yes, she does kind of have lightsabers, but you know, like, come on, they have Yoshimitsu and they have Noctis, so she fits perfectly. I think it would be awesome to see her in this game, actually, because being a fan of the Clone Wars series and being a fan of Star Wars in general, it would be awesome to see her. Jin from Ghost of Tsushima, yet another blade wielding character that I think fits in this game, but you know what, fuck it, they got Noctis and they got Yoshimitsu. I'm gonna keep using that excuse. You know, like how Spartan Lock is the Xbox exclusive, because Ghost of Tsushima is a PlayStation exclusive, he should probably be a PlayStation exclusive character from Tekken. Jill Valentine. Jill Valentine has been in Marvel vs. Capcom games, so she's not new to the fighting game scene, but I would be cool to me to see her in like a HD setting, you know, and like fighting alongside with Asuka and, you know, Josie, females like that. That would be dope as hell. Next we have Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. If we could see Solid Snake in Smash, then we could definitely see Big Boss in Tekken. Like that's a more, you know, more of a realistic fight, not really realistic, but it's like less of a kid friendly, you know, Mario Party type of fighting game. It's more of a, like, you know, like an actual fighting game. So that would be dope to see Big Boss fighting alongside Tekken characters. Well, the same thing that's said about Ryu and Ken could be said about Tifa. Because they already have a Final Fantasy character, which is Noctis, they might not add another Final Fantasy character, because only probably might be like one character per franchise type guest character, you know, thing. But if you think about it, Tifa is more like belonging in Tekken than Noctis is, because Noctis is like more of like a Soul Calibur guest character, but he actually made it in Tekken. But Tifa, she's more of a fist fighter, like she's fighting with her fists. So thinking about it, like she actually would fit Tekken way better, and it would be cool if they could add her as well as Noctis. That would be dope as hell. It's just me going complete fanboy. Like, it would be awesome if this happened, which I doubt will happen, but imagine just being able to play as a Power Ranger and being able to customize each Ranger blue, black, yellow, green, whatever. Like that would just be cool. Like just to do that, because growing up on the show was like, yeah, that would be nice. Our song on the Dreamcast was my shit, and this is like another very fanboyish ass pick, but I decided to go with Ayame, which is one of the Power Stone characters. And I was thinking that, like how they have Rage Drive and different types of like stuff in Tekken. I was thinking that they could probably like use it like kind of like how Eliza is, like how she has like the little like the bar that charges up, and like but instead of being a bar like designed as like 3 stones, so it's like you get a couple, you get 1 stone, you get 2 stones, you get 3 stones, and once the 3 stones fill up, you can transform into her her powered up level when she gets the power stones, and like use that as like a rage driver, like as like a like or as like a power up of being you do playing the game, whatever, like whatever the case is. Maybe you can use it as a rage driver, maybe you can use it as a special meter, but whatever way they decide to do it, like that would be dope either way, to like have the both transitions for her to be able to transform into the pink thing and be able to be able to be her regular self. Last but not least, Kazuma. People have been screaming for this character, making fan theories. He is probably the most likely to make it, and I'm pretty sure if anybody on this list will make it, it will be him, because everybody else is just speculations or my fan fictions, but this is pretty much everybody's fan fiction, so this should be one of them definitely. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out my older stuff, and I will definitely keep you guys up to date. So like, subscribe, and if you want more, then do that.